What's up, YouTube? So before we get started with this video on Get Up, they're going to be talking about how is Patrick Mahomes' knee injury going to affect the rest of the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's see what they have to say about that.
Let's assume the best case scenario is what we get here, that he misses 3 or 4 weeks. They have 4 more games before a bye. So let's even make that like a nice round number. They've got a bye week. And then what do you think the impact is on the Chiefs looking forward if that's the prognosis?
Yeah, just assume, like you said, that it's 4 weeks out. You'll be back after that bye week. But this is the problem now, is the Chiefs have a loss to the Colts. They have a loss to the Texans. The Patriots are most likely going to get the #1 seed. And so they're going to be now looking at potentially winning the West and playing in wild card weekend. And no team has come out of wild card weekend and advanced to the Super Bowl since the 2012 Ravens. And so this is a rough situation for Kansas City because everybody viewed them as the team that would be able to take down the Patriots because of Pat Mahomes and that potent offense.
Let's say that.
So first off, I want to say you never want to see a guy get hurt. I definitely don't want to see Patrick Mahomes get hurt, especially with the knee injury. And they're really starting to pop up now because Zion Williamson just got a knee injury for the NBA. But like I said, it goes without saying that this is really going to cause a problem for the Kansas City Chiefs season. Hopefully he'll be able to come back, but it appeared that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to be the front runners to give competition back to the New England Patriots in the AFC. And now that Patrick Mahomes is hurt, that's really going to cause a problem because I like to see the New England Patriots have some type of competition. So that no one can say, oh, they just had a cakewalk to the AFC Championship game and to the Super Bowl. It's kind of like what Michael Jordan used to say, I want my competition to be 100%. So when I beat you, there's no excuses. That's what I like to have with the New England Patriots. I want them to have some type of competition, which would have been the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. So when they win it, there's no excuses. But I don't know. Let's continue.
Again, and really emphasize it, no team has made it to the Super Bowl having to play in wild card weekend since 2012. Think how many teams make the playoffs. It goes to show you getting that bye has become critical, and this could seriously jeopardize Kansas City.
But even with Mahomes, we weren't talking about the Kansas City Chiefs as a Super Bowl team because their defense stinks.
Whoa, this guy, you weren't talking about what other team in the AFC were you talking about was really going to challenge the New England Patriots and giving them a run for their money other than the Kansas City Chiefs? Because that was pretty much my front runner was the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't know. Let's continue.
And that's why we were looking at him saying, well, even if you have Mahomes, you're going to win games 41-38. But when you get to the Patriots of the world, you're still not going to get to the Super Bowl because your defense isn't good enough. Now, what we saw yesterday is encouraging for Kansas City. But if they don't fix that side of the ball, it doesn't matter what happens on the offensive side.
It's interesting because last year their defense was terrible and they were basically a coin toss at the start of overtime for making it to the Super Bowl. Can they get there? If Mahomes comes back and is healthy and is able to play at 100% whenever it may be, do you still consider them with that defense to be a Super Bowl contender?
They got to go 2-2 these next 4 weeks. Best case would be 3-1. Get to the bye week, get Mahomes back. I mean, we're fingers crossed that that's.
Yeah. What do you think?
So what's really going to need to happen is they're really going to need to have their backup quarterback really step it up, like what the Carolina Panthers was at Kyle Allen. What he's doing, he's 4-0, backing up Cam Newton. So Kansas City Chiefs, their backup quarterback's really going to need to step it up until he gets back and just try to hold it down. So let's continue.
It's still a possibility. Look, they were on offsides away last year. A player lining up in the neutral zone away from being the AFC representative in the Super Bowl with a defense that stunk, okay? And everybody would acknowledge that they stunk. That's why they revamped the entire thing from the coaching staff on down on that side of the ball. So what does Matt Moore need to do? He needs to do exactly what Andy Reid is talking about. He just needs to hold down the fort. That's why right now, roster construction, as far as the makeup of your backup quarterback, every team has to nail that, and Matt Moore has the perfect temperament. He knows who he is. He knows who he's not. And he just needs to go. You're right. If they can split and go 2-2, they go 3-1, then they're right where they belong anyway.
And you look at what that.
And also, they're definitely, that offensive line, if there was any time for them to step it up and really take care of their quarterback, this is the time. Especially when Patrick Mahomes comes back, they're definitely going to need to protect that guy like at no other time in their career do they need to take care of him. Because at this point, I would definitely keep Patrick Mahomes as a pure pocket passer. You're not running out. You're not doing anything. Especially he's going to have a knee brace and everything that goes along with that. Yeah, so he's going to be chilling in the pocket the whole time. And you just know defensive coordinators are going to be sending that house to get to him. So let's continue.
offense was doing last night, even with Pat Mahomes, he was on the bad ankle, so he wasn't running around making these classic throws that we see him make each and every week where he's out of the pocket, throwing from 14 different arm slots. He was sitting in the pocket, getting the ball out quick. In comes Matt Moore, same thing. Some play action, sit in the pocket, get the ball out quick. Don't overexpose that offensive line.
And the next point I want to make is we sort of spin this to the big picture side of what we're looking at here, which means the impact on the league. I'm kind of glad that John Vilma is sitting as far away from me as he is right now, because I fear his reaction to this comment. Patrick Mahomes is the most important player in football. In my opinion, he has become the most important player in football because we are in an era now of high flying. You mentioned earlier, your daughter knows who he is, loves him. Kids everywhere love him, know who he is, love the style of play.
So wait a minute, is Patrick Mahomes the most important or the most popular? Because I think there might be a couple other players that might be a little bit more important. Like maybe the guy that's been to the 3 Super Bowls and won 2 out of the last in a row. Been in 3 Super Bowls in a row and won 2 out of those 3 and won 3 out of the past 5. So, I mean, is he the most popular or is Patrick Mahomes the most important? So, I don't know. Let's continue.
Fantasy football is such an incredibly important part of what we do right now, and he is the fantasy player of the entire sport, certainly at the quarterback position. So this is a blow. I do not think, I'm looking right at you, John Vilma.
Yeah, I hear you.
I know you love linebackers.
I hear you.
This would be a devastating blow for the National Football League if he is out for the season.
Yes, I do agree that it would be a devastating blow. What I don't agree with is if the NFL then decides to try and make some more rules to protect the quarterback. That's what I don't agree with. Because, exactly. There you have a freak injury, and a lot of the injuries this season have been freak injuries to the quarterback position. But I hate that it gets magnified in the offseason because, as you said, people want their fantasy points. People want to see the quarterbacks throw the ball, and I agree with that. But don't start to now try to tweak the rules where, okay, now you can't tackle low. That's not football.
Sanchez, if he were to lose a little bit of his mobility, if you were not with us earlier, I don't want to get into all the details of the injury, but you had a reasonably similar injury yourself. You said when you came back you had to wear a brace.
He's definitely going to wear a brace when he comes back.
And he will definitely wear a brace. How will that impact his mobility, and how does that impact his game?
Listen, he's so good off schedule. It's him and Russell Wilson, maybe Deshaun Watson as off-schedule quarterbacks, top 3 in the league. So if he loses any of that playmaking ability, that changes their whole offense. Now they got to be perfect. Things have to work in time, in rhythm, and sometimes that's not his best attribute. Sometimes being off schedule is better for them. So, you're just hoping for the best.
You look at a lot of the big plays Pat Mahomes makes, it's him running around, buying time, and then all of a sudden you see Tyreek Hill 45 yards down the field getting behind him. And so that's what he gives you. And without that, Andy Reid's a great play caller, but the offense just looks a lot different as far as how explosive they ultimately are.
Final thought for now.
And that's definitely going to take away a whole dimension of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs game if he can't run around and scramble the way he's been doing and making those big and spectacular plays. Because at this point, like I said, I would keep him in that pocket, tell him you're not going anywhere. In the offensive line, you need to step it up. Because this man, obviously, he can't scramble. He can't do much, especially with that huge knee brace on his leg. I mean, it just doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. But let's continue.
Yeah, I think some of the explosive plays, the plus 20-yard plays come down, but I think the efficiency improves. And really what it could do is it could benefit Pat in the long run anyway. Because now the cerebral part of his game takes off and explodes.
I like that.
And look, Andy's one of those guys who doesn't just draw up plays and go, everybody run, and you just pick an open guy. His offense is very intricate, very detailed. And this may